Hey guys, welcome to my settings video of 2020. First we're going to start with general. We'll start with squad privacy. I have this set to open to friends just because there's some times where Uplay will bug and you're not going to be able to invite your friends anymore. So to avoid that, you could just you could make it open to friends and then they could just join on you. For matchmaking preferences, I only have the game mode bomb, but I mean most people do. That's just the only game mode that I'm willing to play. I use disarm bomb to warm up on presidential plane. It just helps with the 180s and just flicks back and forth. Interface preferences. I basically have everything on except for teammate outline, teammate name, and then the versus notifications. So the rest of the general tab is actually more of personal preference, but I normally have PC chat channel disabled. I just been checking out the Faceit open hub, so I've been playing in there and I kind of need to have the text chat enabled. Display game info. This is just like the settings at the bottom left. I have that off just for video purposes normally. Sometimes I will run this if I feel like my frames are a little bit lower than they should be. Cycle inside camera groups. This was brought to the game and I just never ever checked it out, but I mean I get the whole concept. You're able to switch from Maestro cams to the default cams and Val cams a little bit quicker. I just spam my Q&E whenever I need to do that. Drone after prep phase. For automatic, you would always be taken out of your drone at the start of the round. Semi-automatic, if you're on an active drone, you're like jumping around and moving, trying to dodge bullets, then you won't be taken out of your drone. And then manual, say you're on one of your teammates' drones, you will have to click out of the observation tools in order to still play. I have mine set to semi-automatic all the time because say I'm sitting there not really paying much attention to my teammates' drones, it will still pull me out and then I know that the game started basically. Just a little bit of a preference thing. Now on to audio. Master volume, you should have it 100 unless your volume is way too loud, but I do have a mix amp so I can kind of adjust the volume as I go. Music, I have this down the whole way to 0. I just personally don't like having this. I like to be able to play something on Spotify. Dialogue volume, this is basically like Thermite, yelling, stuff like that. I have this down to 84 just so it's a little bit lower. I use the dynamic range TV. This is just a little bit of a balance between hi-fi and night mode. I'm able to hear everything pretty much equal, and that's how I like it. There'd be times when I was on night mode and someone would be running past me, super close to me, and it was kind of like they were farther away. Gunshots would be happening right next to me. It took me a couple seconds to realize that someone was actually shooting right next to me. But TV gives you a little bit better audio in my opinion. Voice chat volume I have on 80. Mute on unfocused is on. I think if you alt tab out of the game, you shouldn't be able to hear the game still. Some people like to have this on, but I feel like the only reason you would want to have this on is if you actually use the music. It would make a little bit more sense to have that on. Voice chat record mode, push to talk. This is basically your voice chat settings with your teammates. I have my voice chat record level at 75 and then the threshold's the whole way down. So I realized that a whole bunch of people had their thing set to like 40, maybe a little bit higher or something like that. And what happens is your mic starts sounding like an Xbox or a PlayStation mic. And to fix that, all you have to do is lower this down to 0 and then adjust this properly. I mean, I feel like people's mics might be peaking, so it's causing it to really have a lot of bad quality. And that'll finish up the audio tab for us. We're gonna move on to the display tab. I play a 1920, 1080. Full screen, this just gets the best out of your system. You'll have the most frame rate this way. I'm on a 144 hertz monitor. I use 1610 as my aspect ratio. VSync is off. Widescreen letterbox is off. And then I play on a 90 FOV. I keep my brightness on 50, but say that I put my gunner glasses on, I will play on 55 just to make my game slightly brighter. Okay, now on to graphics. My texture quality would be on medium. Texture filtering is linear. LOD quality is ultra. Shading quality is low. Shadow quality is medium. Reflection quality is low. And everything else is off at that point. This gives me a little bit of a balance of quality and then frame rate as well. I actually had my LOD quality on low the one day, and I was staring at the back of someone's head, but I couldn't tell because the pixels and stuff were all meshed together. So having this up, it increases the distance for the pixels to kind of render in. Now onto your control settings. Raw input, I currently have off. I've heard that some people do play with it on. I personally just have it off. Mouse look inversion is disabled. I don't know why anybody would play with this on. That is like playing an FPS and flying a plane at the same time. It's not gonna happen. Mouse sensitivity, I use 6.6, and then I used to play on 65 ADS with the old sensitivity, but this is pretty much my settings now. I haven't fine-tuned these too much yet. I still feel like some of my settings are a little bit too high, some are a little bit too low, and I have to really fine-tune them. I play with the mouse scroll on. I find it easy whenever I'm in a gunfight and, you know, I need to pull out my pistol. I can just flick my mouse wheel and then pull out my pistol. There are other games where I do play with the number keys. Personally, in Siege, I just learn the game without the number keys with switching weapons. So from that point, we have Gadget Deployment is advanced. This is basically if you're bandit tricking, you can put it on the wall and then say that someone's shooting open yellow door on consulate. You can just click a button or let go of a button, and then you can just get off the wall and you're safe. But if you would have this on standard, you would start putting that down and then you're stuck on the wall until you finish the animation. Drone deployment, I have it on advanced. I just like whenever I throw out my drone, I do not get yanked into the observation tools. I can just press 5 on my keyboard and then it takes me there. With my aim, I play on hold. Personally, that's just how I learned playing in like all these games. So I've always used hold. I've tried toggle before, it's just really not for me. Lean, I play with toggle. There are people that use hold, but toggle to me is just better. I don't want to have to hold a key down if I don't have to. Sprint, I have on hold. This is personal preference though. Honestly, there's people that play with toggle as well. This is probably all personal preference. Crouch is on toggle, prone is on toggle, walk is on hold. I like to be able to let go of my caps lock and then I'm automatically moving a little bit quicker. I find it a little bit easier this way. And then this is just controller settings. We really don't have to worry about that. Accessibility, this is just your color presets and all that. I use purple, 80 opacity, and that is it. Alright guys, that is going to finish up my settings guide for 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day. I am out of here.